Crolister, the Master Opponent. Hi guys, Crolister here with another long play. Continuing on the first and second entries of the series, which I did before, in this video I will be doing a playthrough of Super Metroid, and this will be a 100% playthrough. This is based on the Nintendo Switch on the Super Nintendo Entertainment System app for Nintendo Switch Online. You like my holiday Yoshi icon I made? So yeah, Super Metroid was released in '94 on the Super Nintendo system as the third entry in the iconic franchise. So, as you can see, it says Metroid 3 in the opening sequence. Now, of course, I need to put in the disclaimer that because this is going to be a full playthrough of the game, it technically means that the video contains spoilers. Nintendo, in particular, are touchy about this. So, I assume it would be safe to do this on YouTube because this is an older game that a lot of people have already played anyway. So, you know, I'll give it a shot and see how well it does. Like I said, this is a 100% items playthrough, so I will be getting every power-up in the game. I'm just going to start a new file. And without further ado, let's begin.
The last Metroid is in captivity. The galaxy is at peace.
Interesting how an SNES game actually has a little bit of voice sampling. This is a flashback from the original Metroid. This one from Return of Samus. That's a good idea, or so it seems. Right. As she should have figured. So the game starts off at a space colony, Post-Ceres Space Research Station. I first played this game on the Wii as a Virtual Console game, and I would always play Virtual Console games on the Wii with the GameCube controller. And because of the placement of the symbol buttons on the GameCube controller, compared to how they are in literally any other gaming controller you can play the game with, it's a much more uncomfy difference. I played most of my Nintendo Switch games with a Pro controller, actually. So, yeah. Then, yeah, once you make it to this part of the station, you confront Ridley, because he's still in the Metroid. If you take a lot of damage to the point where your health gets critical, Ridley will end the battle and fly off. He will also do that if you damage him enough. So if you want to get through the game as quickly as possible, like speed running for example, just take a lot of damage against him on purpose. Then after he escapes, the self-destruct mechanism activates, and you have to get out as quickly as possible. You have 1 minute to do so. Nintendo's supposed to be this child-friendly franchise. Then you have Metroid, where there are actual dead bodies on the ground. Metroid's kind of like a horror game, kind of, at an extent. Because it takes inspiration from a horror movie, that being Alien. I've watched the first Alien movie. It's definitely a movie you wouldn't want to stay up late at night watching. Keep in mind that the steam emissions and the falling debris will not actually hurt you. They'll just stun you for a brief moment. And keep in mind that the elevator shaft sways back and forth once you make it to that part. So with that, we head off to Planet Zebes, where the first Metroid took place. The space pirates are up to no good. So, yeah, we begin now. Alright, what's this audio lag? Alright, that's no good. I can't stand audio lag while I'm watching other people's long play videos. That drives me nuts. And I made sure that my capture card was playing the video back properly. So, really, what's going on here? Alright, we should be good with the audio lag part now. I had to halt the video for a moment because my annoying brother started whining. I hate him so much. Alright, so this part looks familiar, right? Get the morphing ball at the same spots. Then we're gonna go down here. Since you can shoot diagonally downward now. And we get the first missiles tank here. I think I'm going to pause over the annotations after getting power-ups that you get more than once, just so I can shave off a few seconds from the final video. You need 5 missiles to open the red door. There's one here. Very interesting how there are those cameras. Also interesting about that glitch where you can shoot right through those blocks as soon as you enter the room. Notice how the heads turn toward her. Alright, we gotta shoot these guys away. Some of the shots are going to end up being invisible in this playthrough because of the frame rate. now the planet's full of enemies, since they detected our presence earlier. I'll come back there very shortly. Right, use the morphing ball and go this way. Mind the shrapnel from those enemies. I have no idea why I'm even shooting these guys. You could just run right underneath them. I haven't played the game in like a year, though, from this recording. So even though I am very familiar with the game's placement, it took me a while to get used to the controls again. So here's where you get the morphing ball bombs. And then you're sealed off from being able to exit and are forced to fight a boss called the Chorizo, I believe. Anyways, it's a live Chozo statue that attacks you. It might use this item ball attack, which you can shoot out the sky to get more missile ammo or health. And it also has this wave attack here. And it loses its head, literally. Then one more missile will finish it off. There. If all goes well with this video, I may do other long plays of different games like this as well. Just the ones that I like, which isn't a lot of them. Maybe even Pokemon if I feel like it. It's just, you know, it'd be a problem to do narration for a Pokemon video because of how long the games are. And I will happily make more videos like the opinionary video about how bad that this year was and why the upcoming year, which is in a month, will be better. Little shortcut in case you didn't know. More videos like that will definitely come as soon as significant news updates happen. The Switch's successor, which is pretty much just going to be an upgraded version of the current Switch with better processing and exclusive games, from what we gather, has already leaked in terms of what the console actually looks like, confirming, basically, the matter. Apparently, Nintendo doesn't seem to mind that the visual appearance of the console got leaked, though I'm still not taking any chances. I'll talk about it once it's officially announced and we actually see it for proper purposes. So, I'm just gonna run straight down and ignore enemy damage. There's an energy tank right at the end anyway. Increases your maximum vitality and restores your health completely if it isn't full upon picking it up. Now for the Zebesians down here, you will need to use missiles. They're immune to normal beam bullets. That red door leads to where the boss chamber that leads to Torian is. You can't access it until you destroy the 4 main bosses: Kraid, Phantoon, Draygon, and Ridley. For now, let's go to Brinstar. Not the Brinstar you know from the original Metroid, though. It's more like an underground forest now. Kind of sad that I played Super Metroid before the original Metroid. Oh well. Super Metroid is one of the most iconic games on this console, as in the Super Nintendo. So, you know. I know you can't go through here until you have the speed booster. I'm just stopping to get that missile tank first, because I can get that. This is where the map access for Brinstar is. It's not necessary for a 100% items run. There are some rooms where you can't leave until you destroy all the enemies. And I'm gonna have to go right back there anyway, so, Get the map data. That'll be good for memory recollection. Despite this, I remembered where all the power-ups in the game are quite well, so... Let's just go where we need to go, which is through here. Though you're definitely prone to taking a lot of damage throughout the playthrough in Super Metroid, the game's not that hard. I also just love the fact that power-ups, well, pickups I should say, for health and weapon reload only appear if you actually need them. There are also certain enemies that'll always give you a certain power-up, like some for super missiles and some for power bombs. Although you can wall jump here to get the missiles without the grapple beam, you require power bombs to get what's on the other side of that, unfortunately. So I have to come back here again later. More missiles. And a more important item lies down here. The charge beam. You can now hold shot to charge a shot and release it to do more damage. You can also flip into an enemy that can be destroyed with one hit with the charged shot according to your current beam level, to do what I and others like to call the pseudo-screw attack. You can only do it on weaker enemies that can be destroyed with one shot with the beam's full charge, though. It's kinda hard to dash while holding a charge shot simultaneously, since there's no GameCube controller. Right, next up we're going to confront the Spore Maker. There are some key hunters in here, so ready a charge shot before you enter and give it to them. Right, Spore Maker. You can shoot the spore pups as they descend in order to refill your health and missile ammunition. Then you wait for it to open its mouth and give it some missiles before it closes. Excluding Super Mario World, which I technically first played as the Game Boy Advance game, actually on a GBA, Super Metroid was the first SNES game I ever properly played. So because of that, Super Metroid remains my favorite on that console. I also like the Kirby games on the SNES, Kirby's Dream Land 3 and Kirby Superstar. Those games are great as well. And of course, Super Mario All-Stars, which is SNES versions of the NES games, which look great. So, you know, a few different games here and there. Once you get to the midpoint of the Spore Maker's health, it'll increase its speed dramatically. You can avoid it easily by remaining in Morph Ball form, though. See? And then he wilts and dies, and you can go up. You know what's funny? If you wall jump off of the Spore Maker's body after destroying it, it'll shake. If you want to see that for yourself. Then just through here, we are going to get our first tank of... Wait for it. Long descend. Very long fall, in fact. Super missiles. Super missiles obviously are more damaging than normal missiles and are required for opening green doors, like the one you're about to see up here. They also shake the ground and cause wall-crawling enemies to drop if they're on the wall or ceiling, so watch out for that as well. And we can progress to Lower Brinstar now. There is a very well-hidden missile tank through this pipe you see up here. There. Yeah. I'm trying to pseudo-screw attack these jumper enemies. I better pseudo-screw him, huh? I shouldn't have said that, actually. Again, there are some enemies that'll always give you super missiles, and some that'll always give you power bombs. The cacti that you see here will always give you super missiles if you need them. That can make it easier to refill certain entities you need in question. Just gonna go downward. A beginner playing some of the earlier Metroid games may struggle to figure out where to go, and that's part of the Metroid series. Later games in the series, like the 3DS remake of Return of Samus, Metroid Samus Returns, as well as Metroid Dread, have features that you can acquire that help make finding secrets a lot easier. If you've mastered wall jumping like I did, you can get the Spazer early. Without the high jump boots power-up. It's a very short wait in between it anyway. Now the beam has more power and range. There's kind of a trick there where you kind of have to shoot it with the beam instead of using a bomb, or you fall. So, remember that as well. Alright, going down to Norfair. There's only a little bit of Norfair that we can go through at the moment safely, because of the extreme heat rooms. Because I haven't played this game in a while, I kind of had to recall for sure where I was going in some parts, and it took me a while to figure out where to get back out again from here. Which, is here. You need to have at least one super missile on you after you get the high jump, because you need a super missile to fight Kraid. Nah, forget the regular missile. There's an energy tank for you as soon as you enter this room. And there's a missile tank on your way out as well. In between them, you get this power-up. The high jump. This increases your maximum jumping heights. Super Metroid is also the only game in the series where you can actually unequip power-ups and re-equip them once you obtain them. Which some people might want to do, especially for some of the beam options. Once you get that, you need to go right back up. Again, you need to have at least one super missile on you. These guys might give you one if you're lucky. Unfortunately, in this recording, that didn't quite happen. So, I'm gonna have to use my final bone here. You got key hunters as you come up here, so I'd say to ready a charge shot. Or perhaps use missiles. You should probably use missiles to go up against these Sebesians, or space pirates, whatever you want to call them. Then after that, you got what basically is a mock-up of Kraid from the original NES Metroid, which is not the real Kraid. You can get some super missiles back for destroying him. There's also a reload station up here hidden if you want to use that as well. Every boss is guarded by a door that has a monster eye that requires 3 missiles shot in it while it's open to access. And without further ado, here's Kraid. He's in the gigantic size that he appears in Brinstar Depths from Super Smash Bros. Though there's no lava, there's spiky plants instead, which is a little weird. While many Super Smash Bros. Stages do take in a lot of elements from the games they're from, they're not exactly the scale, so... You need to shoot Kraid in the eye with the beam, and then shoot him in the mouth with a missile. His hand can deflect your shots, so you have to aim them carefully. Come on. Good enough. Once you defeated him, you get the various suit, which you're gonna require to have before you can really explore Norfair. This is where the iconic orange, bulkier depiction of Samus's power suit really comes from. The design from the previous game on the Game Boy, and the color from this game on the SNES. And Various Suit Samus is actually the design for Samus in Super Smash Bros. As a fighter, instead of the normal power suit, as you can probably tell. So we going back up. There's another power-up that I'm gonna have to get after I get the Spring Ball, after I'm done with Meridia. Meanwhile, though, we can't get an energy tank in here. These frog-like enemies latch onto you and drain your health. Destroy them with Morph Ball bombs. And then there's an energy tank in here that's well hidden. Alright, we're gonna go back to Norfair. We're gonna go this way. Without the Various Suit, the extreme heat will consistently damage you, so you shouldn't go here until you get that item. Yeah. Why would anybody hide a missile tank in the lava? Wouldn't it explode due to the gunpowder? That's game logic for you. Carefully get across this room. Before that, I'm gonna go this way, actually, for missiles. Right here. Alright, so that was another missile tank. Now we're gonna go this way for real. These lava trolls will go up to your height while you're jumping, so try not to jump until they raise up. Be quick as you go through here. Gotta wait for moving platforms. This one will drop a bit while you're riding it. Alright, we're gonna get some more items just through here. Be careful as you ride on these platforms. There is a missile tank just behind the skates. And if you're really good at the game like I am, and if you're willing to take a little bit of damage due to the spikes, you can get the wave beam early without the grappling beam. See? Now to get back out, there are some hidden blocks down here that'll crumble after you land on them. The wave beam will not only make the beam more powerful, it'll also allow it to fly through solid objects, which is very convenient to have. Alright, we gotta go this way. Run while holding run as you cross these. There's a missile tank well hidden up here. And here's where we get the more important item, the speed booster. Seems like picking up the item triggered the trap, huh? You can see the lava's rising. It's a speed booster to escape. Alright, good to go. I'm not gonna even attempt to go up there until I get the grappling beam at least, because that's not gonna work for me, really. Now we're gonna have to go back down through here. Now we're gonna go this way. The fastest way to get back through here. Now that we have the speed booster, it's possible. Now we can go through here for real. Wow. Alright, we're gonna go through here. This is where you will find the ice beam. Though the ice beam is not as damaging as beams without the ice beam equipped, it does hold enemies in place. And then you can safely stand on frozen enemies. Even non-destructible enemies can be frozen. Wait for these to go at the right place. Should cross them. Once you get the ice beam, you need to return to Lower Brinstar for the next item. It took me a while to figure out where I needed to get the power bombs in my first ever playthrough of this game. Some people might want to go to the pause menu and disable the high jump to make this part a little bit easier, though that's optional. The flowers will actually chew on you if you fall in them, and you'll have to rotate the control stick to break out. Anyways, it's down here. Behind the super missile door. There's a cactus enemy within this room as well if you need to refill them. Freeze these guys as you cross them. And then this Chozo statue has the power bombs. These will damage enemies that are on screen all at once. And if you use it right there, you can get a well-hidden missile tank as well. Let's go all the way to the side and use a power bomb here. It's good to know you can get some extra power bombs pretty early after you get the first one. It's annoying, though, that it takes a while for us to get our next super missiles tank, because I depend on those a lot more. Power bombs are needed for yellow doors. There are some stronger key hunters up here, so... Typically, I like to open weapon-required doors in advance, like I'm doing. You can also save the game by docking with your starship at any point. That'll also completely refill your health and weapons. Criteria has plenty of weapons that you can go back to later to retrieve. Ever since we got the spacer, we can now use the beam to destroy these guys. There are some power-ups that we can get while we're in Red Star, since we have the Power Bomb and Speed Booster now. Like, going down here. More of these annoying frog enemies. Start running as you enter here, and jump as soon as you see the energy tank. Because it's just like the one in Ridley's lair in the original Metroid. There's an invisible pitfall. Lo and behold, the very first Super Missiles tank after the first one we get in the game. It takes that long for me to finally get, more Super Missiles, which is pretty annoying. If you freeze the insects as they come out of their pods, without destroying them, it'll prevent the next one from appearing. Try to get across them while they're frozen as quickly as you can. Can't leave Super Missiles in. Again. These little guys. Edicoons, is that what they're called? The monkey-like characters that show you how to wall jump, and the ostrich that shows you how to shine spark. One of them's called Edicoons, the other's called Doctoros. And in case you didn't know this, the tune that they hum as soon as you first meet them is actually their version of the fanfare that plays after you pick up a power-up. You kind of have to listen closely to tell. So, nice little Easter egg. Now that I have the speed booster, we can get a lot more power-ups in this room. This one is a reserve tank, which collects energy and refills your health as soon as your energy hits 0. Then if you morph ball through this tube, you can get a missile tank. And if you bomb the walls just behind it, another very well hidden missile tank. I love how well hidden some of these are. Now shoot upward. Watch out for enemies. And we get some super missiles. Fantastic. If you use the speed booster through this room and break through the thin layer of blocks that you see after the block wall, you meet the ostrich-like character, Datura, I think it's called, and it shows you how to use the Shine Spark. I'm not going to do it in the recording, though, because I wanted to get through the game as quickly as possible. Let's wall jump back up here and see what we got behind the blocks that require a power bomb to access. Big jumpers, these guys are so annoying. You'll need a super missile to break this. And what we got was some power bombs. It can be kind of difficult to figure this one out without the X-ray scope, so just know where the pillars move. The other block you saw where the charge beam was that requires a power bomb also requires the gravity suit. So I'm gonna have to come back to that later no matter what. We can go through here though. This one would require the wave beam specifically, not necessarily the grapple beam, if you can wall jump. An energy tank lies behind this door. Curious, I just want to see how high exactly that one pillar goes. Just about there. Alright, we're gonna return to Norfair now. I'll go there after we get the grapple beam. Alright, we're gonna go here again. You may recall there are some blocks labeled with the power bomb. Shoot these guys. Alright, I'm gonna carefully align myself so I can freeze this enemy and use him as a stepping stone. That was so close. And quickly get this missile. Alright, we're gonna use the speed booster to cut through here. Super missile down here. And we are going to confront a sub-boss named Crocomire. For Crocomire, I use fully charged beam shots. There is no need to use super missiles on this guy. Fully charged beam blast will do perfectly. Just shoot him while his mouth is open. And know to detect his projectile attack once he uses that at random. Then his weight breaks the platform behind him, and he melts in the acid. Note the bubbles that appear from the acid as he moves to the side. You'll just need to follow it to the spike wall. I think they did that specifically just to troll the player into thinking there was more in the battle. Just to mess around with them. Alright, so, we go downward. Wait for the acid. The fly enemies of Norfair come in groups of 5 per spawn, making them an excellent enemy for you to grind against if you're in desperate need of health and weapon refills. You will need to use a power bomb to break the blocks here, so you can use the speed booster to jump the ramp to the other side where the grapple beam is waiting. Now, the grapple beam technique to get the missile tank makes this arguably the hardest missile tank to get in the game. There is an easier way to get it if you're really, really good with the Shine Spark, and I'm gonna have to use the rewind function until I do it right. I will only use the rewind function in this video for getting some of the power-ups. Yeah. That's better. Keep in mind that the Shine Spark depletes your vitality in this game. If your vitality is critical, you will not be able to use the Shine Spark at all, so there's no worrying about that. It can't deplete your health down to 0, in other words. And there's the grappling beam. Use the grappling beam to connect and swing from certain spots that you'll know once you see. I had a bit of a shaky transition with it, though, going through here. Seriously. Wow. Of course, the water severely reduces your mobility, so gotta cross these grapple boxes quickly. Green gates require you to use a super missile to open, meaning you cannot open them from the other side. Alright, we're gonna use the grappling beam on this enemy up here. Get to the other side of it so that we can get another power bombs. Gotta be careful not to fall in the acid. I'm gonna use the speed booster and the grappling beam both to get the energy tank on the other side. I just love that programming glitch where the illusions of Samus left behind while using the speed booster linger like that if you swing with the grappling beam while the speed booster is in effect. So we going back up. This is the way to go if you want to get all the items. This game has some unnecessary chambers that lead to no items at all. Which is, you know. Missiles here. Once you get the grappling beam, you're supposed to head off to the wrecked ship. The power bomb door you see here leads to the map room for Norfair. Looking at the bare map, where do you suppose Ridley can be found? You'll find out once you defeat the other main bosses. For now, going up. Right, let's see what's behind this powerbomb door, shall we? There's one of those parasitic frog-like enemies behind that one destructible block, so be careful. In rooms that have these fireflies, destroying the fireflies will dim the room until it's completely pitch black, so try not to destroy them. Then we got some grapple beam swinging. Interesting how I did that without getting hit at all. That's never happened to me before. This is where you get the X-ray scope, which for any percent runs is optional. Though if you have it, it can definitely help you out a lot in trying to find all the secrets in the game. My brother's whining for no reason. That was why I was getting angry. The problem is that we hate each other, and my own voice triggers him. Well, tough, I got a YouTube channel to manage. And it's important that I have commentary in my long play videos. By the way, my brother is not like a normal person. He's not like a normal person at all. He's autistic. So am I. I just have Asperger's. He's autistic to the point where he can't communicate at all, and has unruly and intolerable behavior. So, that's all I'll say for now. We're going through here for some more power-ups, like a power bomb just behind here. Use a power bomb here so you can get past this. There are a couple of missile tanks as well, where we got the one missile tank after the first one. That requires the gravity suit in order to get, so... Well, I'm not sure about requires the gravity suit, though it is definitely involved. So I'll get that later. You can use a bomb here to get some missiles down here. Right, we're gonna use a bomb here. And then a power bomb to open the door. We're gonna freeze the blobs in place. And speed booster across them quickly before they thaw. Shine spark. And we get super missiles. Alright, now we're gonna use the grapple beam to get across to here. Dang it. That sucked. It's very difficult to shine spark horizontally and diagonally in Super Metroid. So, the criteria power-ups that require the power bomb and the shine spark, etc. to find are gonna be the very last power-ups I get in the playthrough. Use the grappling beam to get here, and get missiles along the way. The cracked grapple beam boxes will break and then respawn after a bit once you use them, so heads up. I'm gonna shoot here and see where we can get on the other side. Actually, my first official playing at all of Super Metroid was the Masterpiece in Super Smash Bros. Brawl. Then it would be the first Super Nintendo game I bought as a virtual console game. It's funny, I recall playing the Masterpiece in Brawl. I purposely killed Samus in the second save slot on it just because I wanted to see the death animation, unaware of what the death animation looked like. And I was like, was she naked? And it turns out Samus would appear naked during her death animation in the Japanese and European versions of this game. Of course, in the American version, she has her clothes on, for obvious reasons. Looks like they forgot to change that in the Super Smash Bros. Brawl Masterpiece. Oops. Nintendo. Funny memories. You should get this missile tank before you restore the power, so that the spikes are ineffective. Save you a little bit of damage. Alright, so, shoot this boss store's eye out. And this is where we fight the boss, Phantoon. Let's go. It'll be at random. It'll be random pacing as to where it'll open inside and become vulnerable, and then reappear. You may have to wait through 3 waves of the eyeball flames before you can shoot. Once you get a good shot at his eye open, give him missiles. If you use a super missile on him, he'll do a berserk attack, which is hard to avoid and very easy to die against. So try to beat him with normal missiles only. Though it might not be faster, it is safer. Alright, got it. And after Phantoon dies, the ship comes to life again. You will need to be careful though, as there are live wires and spike traps throughout the ship. After going up, I decided to go back and show you where the map room for the wrecked ship is, which is just on the other side of this room. You can only get it though after you beat Phantoon. Save stations in the ship are also ineffective until you beat the boss. Some super missiles. Could always use some more of those. Now we're gonna go this way. You can shoot the droids back and force them into the conveyor belt with the spikes. Then, we're gonna go into this specific chamber for even more super missiles. Fantastic. We're gonna go there after we get the gravity suit. Where we really need to go is upward. This part really annoys me, because you have to destroy all of the key hunters and atoms before you can open any of the doors in this room. And you have to go back and forth for a 100% play. There are also live wires that are intermittent, and live wires that are permanent. And the permanent ones will also drop sparks onto the ground that can hurt you as well. I'm opening the other door so that I can just go right through it after I get enough movement space. There's a missile tank here. Wow. Walk along these platforms until you see this guy. Then jump on it and ride him. Stay still until you see another one above you. Jump up and land on it. Repeat the process again once more. Then once this gets to the wall up ahead, you freeze it and quickly get the missile that you see him inside. There. You will need a super missile to go down here. Luckily, in this game, there's no damage taken for having a block regenerate over top you, like there are in the previous games. Right, we got some grapple beam swinging to do. Ow. Landing in spikes that big, could you imagine? You go into morph ball form into the hands of this Chozo statue. Then it comes to life and shows you where to go next, as you see. Before I get the gravity suits, let's drop a bomb right here. See what we got on the other side. move these droids out of the way. There's missiles. Alright, now let's set a power bomb at this specific statue. Get a speed boost ready. Shine spark up here. Carefully move downward because of the pitfall. And we get a reserve tank. Nice. The gravity suit is just in this hall. Now we get purple armor and the ability to move underwater freely. Fantastic. With this, it'll be possible to progress out of the wrecked ship and into our next destination, Meridia. I hate this part right here. Spike jumping. Why would they even include this? Just be thankful that if it crushes you, it's not instant death. It should be, though. Wow. Awful. Energy tank here. I think it's very interesting that this little labyrinth you go through has no power-ups in it at all. You will need a power bomb in order to go through here. So, here we are. This is Meridia. I need to recall to myself that that is a save room. Can't catch me. super missile to go down here. Very cinematic. Super missile to go back up as well. Yeah, I hate these guys here. They can be annoying. The sand showers also limit your jumping capabilities. Sorry, I'm not in the quicksand. Go down here. This is where the map room is. So you can get a pretty good idea on the placement here. You need a super missile by this point. Alright. Now, kinda common sense. You need to figure out what you can use to break this tube open. I was stupid and went out of range. That's not gonna happen. Yeah, if you use a power bomb in that tunnel, you break it open, and then that's how you continue exploring Meridia. There is another very difficult missile tank to get in this particular spot that requires a shine spark from this room. And the penalty for failing is a super missile each attempt. So, after struggling a bit, I'm gonna have to use the rewind feature here as well. Forgive me. You have to align Samus with that one clump of grass you saw down there. Took me a while to find out where I really need to go here. These Zebesians are immune to your current beam. You can only destroy them with the plasma beam. And there's one that you can get with the speed booster as well. Shoot one of the baby turtles to wake up the big one. And if you stand on it, it'll elevate. So you can, wow. Get the lone grapple box and the energy tank above. No. There. Obviously. So I'm gonna have to do it the long way. One of the most well-hidden, if not the most well-hidden, missile tank in the game. Right there. I think that was the last one I ever found, in my first ever 100% play of this game. Hopefully you can see why. Right, we're gonna freeze the fish, being careful not to actually destroy it. So I can go up here. Why am I struggling the wall jump? Go. Yeah, that'll do. Then we can get the super missile we saw earlier. More grapple beam swinging. The bubble door you saw going upward earlier leads to an unnecessary path, like I talked about before. Can't fool me that easily. Missiles and super missiles, both in the same place. I'm gonna use a shine spark here. Missiles. Then for the super missiles, there is a troll here, as you can see. Then we're gonna go back downward. Wall jump or use the grapple beam to jump one of these. I just love how they have jellyfish that look a lot like Metroids. They even make the same exact sound effects. Yet they're nowhere near as dangerous. Right, so we're gonna face a sub-boss next. Bot Wound, its name is along the lines of... And I recommend just using fully charged shots with a beam against it, as opposed to missiles. Just remember that only the head is vulnerable. It'll increase its speed after its health is low. Yeah. There, come. I shouldn't have jumped there. Again, it was a while since I played this game, so. Alright, we're gonna get an energy tank now. There's a troll here, so be careful. I'll show you where the troll is with the X-ray scope, so you know what I mean. See? Whoa. This part is no fun. The fake Metroid jellyfish can also be destroyed with the grappling beam, in fact, so. This part is not fun at all. There are invisible spikes at the bottom of the quicksand as well. There we go. There's a reload station behind that save station if you want to use it. The boss and the missile tank lie beyond clever deceptions. See how the spikes are fake? And there's the boss room. So to start this boss, you want to arm yourself with the super missiles and shoot off the cannons in the arena. Doing so will make the fight dramatically easier, since they can't shoot you. Wait for these guys to go all the way to the side and disappear. Then after they do that, you will confront the next main boss in the game yard to destroy, Draygon. I recommend weaving from side to side as he does in morph ball form, and wait for him to use the spinning attack, then fire away at his belly with super missiles. If he touches you while you're caught in his spit trap, he will grab you and try to spank you with his tail. If you direct him into where the cannons are and use the grappling beam in the port of a destroyed cannon, you can electrify him and destroy him that way, alternatively. The way I do it, though, is perfectly good enough. So after we defeat Draygon, we get a required power-up called the Space Jump. A jump flip will make Samus flip continually, and with good coordination, you'll be able to jump again. Yeah, we're gonna go through there in the other direction later. No such luck as more super missiles right now. Yeah, I need to do it from the room to use the speed booster, unfortunately. Shoot this, and we're going to purposely fall into the quicksand here. Here's a missile tank up here. There's a power bomb tank in a more difficult place to obtain. Watch for falling rocks. Took me a while to figure out where the pit is in the quicksand to go back down. It's on the clear other side, of course. Now we're gonna go to the right from here. Use the grapple beam on this unstable block. It will not regenerate after it crumbles. And it's going to take me a while to get up here because of the trolling enemies. So, give me a moment. Seriously, why would they do that? Be careful as you go down here. As you can see, I was off to a sloppy transition. I couldn't even hit the power bomb before the guy hit the wall. So, rewind. Guys, the power bomb quickly. And then this machine will cut through the sand wall. You have to wait patiently as he does so. I think we get through here. This is where we get the spring ball. While it's not a required item, it is a very useful one. It allows you to jump while you're in morph ball form. Now I gotta go through the torment of the sand showers again. I forgot to mention, I watched a few older Godzilla movies on YouTube as well, and noticed that the noises that Draygon makes as it's attacking you in the grapple sounds a lot like one of the monsters from one of the Godzilla movies that I actually watched. I wonder if they borrowed the sound effects to make little references, since this is a Japanese game. This door is inaccessible anyway until after you beat Draygon. So even if you master ball bomb bouncing, you can't go there until. This is the path to getting the plasma beam. Right, plasma beam. The plasma beam, which is a very powerful weapon, cuts through multiple enemies. You will need it to destroy the Zebesians and open the door to get back out. The plasma beam cannot be used in conjunction with the spacer, if you like to personalize your equipment in this game. The demo sequence that you see after you've beaten the game once can also show you some techniques you can do with some of your weapons you may not have known before. Some of them of which require you to disable some of the other power-ups. This door becomes open after defeating Draygon as well. Cacti, one excellent opportunity to get back some super missiles. Awful. How did I not remember to propel forward? Space jump. We're gonna go the way we were before with the quicksand. Into the other pit of quicksand. Yeah. Here. The reserve tank you get in this room requires the spring ball in order to get. You can hold jump to continually bounce while in spring ball. And you need that to cross the pitfall block you saw there. So yeah, spring ball basically required to get the reserve tank and the missile tank in this room. We're gonna get the item that I couldn't get in Kraid's lair until now. Cause, like I said, I needed the spring ball. Alright, now we gotta hurry up and get back to Norfair. Right, going down. We're gonna go the fast way through here. There. I could have gotten the reserve tank on the way back, actually. I'm just... While recording it, I felt the need to do it before, for some reason. Missile tank just through here. Then there's a missile tank that is actually disguised as one of the platforms. And then the reserve tank up there. Let's go down here. Gravity suit and space jump are required to access Ridley's lair. In addition to moving freely underwater, the gravity suit also prevents you from taking damage to lava, though you still take damage to acid. So, here we go. Ridley's lair. Get ready a power bomb for this here. This Chozo statue will drain the acid, so you can go downward. Pitfalls shield a missile tank here. And just before you can progress, you get ambushed by another live Chozo statue, or Chorizo. And this is the gold Chorizo. A much more difficult version of the boss you fought just after you get the bombs. If you use a super missile on it, it'll catch it and throw it back at you. And if you use a regular missile on it, it'll dodge it. You can shoot him with more missiles while he's throwing a super missile, though. I just prefer to go with just a charge beam. This boss can be very annoying if you're not familiar with the game. Especially if he spams this move. Which, as you can see, is exactly what he's doing. That nailed him. There is one more major power-up in the game just through here, the Screw Attack. Which gives Samus the ability to destroy enemies and certain objects while flipping. This is the final super missile tank in the game. I have all of them now. So, just a few more to go in the other categories. This is a health recharge station. I might as well use it. Then we're going to Screw Attack upward. I'm trying to recall that I'm going the right way. Alright, moving forward. There's rising acid, so you have to get through this quickly. Let's see what we got up here. Be careful how you go through this part. Some more missiles. You have to climb up here quickly because of the rising acid. It'll submerge nearly the entire area. Now we're gonna go down. Some sturdy key hunters are here. There's a column that appears if you shoot there. Here's some power bombs. These elite Zebesians are pretty tough to figure out. You just gotta jump along them until they jump after you, and shoot them with a fully charged beam while they're doing their dive kick attack. That's the only way they can take damage. You have to destroy both of them in order to progress. Not good, not good. Now for the hardest boss in the game without a doubt, Ridley. Enjoy my struggling against him. I just love how Ridley has to grab you and then die with you in his talons like that. There's an energy tank well hidden in here. And the damage container that you see in that room is the container that the infant Metroid was originally in. Essentially meaning it got away. Which is not a good sign at all. You should use a power bomb here because of the pillar. That'll protect you from landing at the spikes or the fire column. Use a super missile on this obstacle here. There are fireflies, so you have to be careful. And of course I screw attack right into that one. Missiles here. And a much trickier route to go through for the power bombs that we saw earlier. If you spam hopping, you can get through this pretty easily. Till you get to here. Gotta wait for the acid. They put that pillar there specifically to troll you. If you're not careful. No missiles. There are still a few power-ups we have to get yet in Bryn Star and Criteria. So, let's get those. In the area with the charge beam, you may recall there was a power bomb block that I say you need the gravity suit as well in order to access. That's what we're gonna get now. There are speed booster blocks here, and water prevents you from getting it without the gravity suit, you see. An energy tank is what lies on the other side. Right, now I gotta go through here again. I almost forgot about the energy tank in the ceiling, which is a homage to the original Metroid. So, there. Shine Spark here. And you will need the gravity suit to get through here, viably. There's a missile tank here. And another there. Talk about well hidden. On your way back, you will need to watch for fallen rocks. Give me a moment as I fight my way back to the surface. I'm gonna stop at the ship so I can refill my ammunition. The final power bomb tank. Right there. No. Just barely had my heel in the acid. The final energy tank in the game. Gotta watch the acid as you go down here. Be extra careful with the spring ball as you go down here. And if you're careful like I am, you can get both of the missile tanks as you descend. That's it. I have every single power-up in the entire game. There's no reward for doing so other than bragging rights. So, next up is Torian. You need to defeat the 4 main bosses in order to access. So, you know, it's another mission here. go. Just like before, you will need to freeze the Metroids and then shoot 5 missiles while they're frozen to destroy them. You must destroy all the Metroids before you can proceed to the next area. The story to the game says that these Metroids are clones. Just to clarify about their extinction. They look a little bit weird because of the frame rate. The Rinkas can also be very annoying. You wouldn't want a Metroid to latch onto you now. Alright, once you enter this door, there is no turning back. So make sure not to progress unless you, know for a fact you have every item. Or every item that you're convenient with getting. Very interesting how these jumpers are immune to all weapons except the super missile. Then this one gets attacked by a giant Metroid. And then you do as well. You're stuck taking damage until you're down to 1 hit point left. So... just make sure to shoot it off before it finishes you off, and it'll run away. There's missiles and health reload right here. You're gonna need that. Then, same as with the original, you gotta shoot your way through these barriers while avoiding the Rinkas and the turrets. So... yeah, that's not gonna do any good, huh? Alright, let's take out the big old brain again. Accidentally shot a super missile, and that triggered the phase. Oh no, she has a full body now. This is why it's good to have every single super missile at least in the game. Oh. Then you have a hyper cannon that strips you of all your weapon ammunition. If you have a lot of health, you can get back up. Though fighting back is futile, because it'll just keep doing that again and again. So just run into her a bunch until your health gets low enough so that you can get down very low with another hyper beam without actually dying, like this, to get through it quickly. Then it seems like you're finished. Until Metroid attack. Haha. That's hilarious. And then the Metroid actually gives Samus the energy that it stole. Like it recognized Samus in the end and came back to help her. And died in the process. Well, look at it this way. It gave its life to save Samus's. And she repays the favor. You now have the hyper cannon and can properly fight back now. And with this, enemy is no more. Only problem is, she set a bomb strong enough to destroy the entire planet instead of just the Torian station, and you have to get out as quickly as possible within 3 minutes. In the original Metroid, more obviously shown in Zero Mission, just Torian explodes. In this game, though, it destroys the entire planet. So, it's kind of a wonder, I think, how Planet Zebes and Planet CDR in Metroid Dread are able to explode like that just by defeating the boss. Oh well. There's also rising acid here, so you have to get here quickly. You can see the acid rising here. I am going to save the animals, just so you know. They're able to escape. If you stick around, one of the Anacoons approaches Samus slowly, and then hurries on out after acid starts rising. Just a tad more cuteness for you. Hurry up to the starship and get out of here. An escape could not be any more emergent than this. Because, as you can see, the bomb was powerful enough to destroy the entire planet. Not a trace of it remains. And now, declaring Samus and her starship makes an escape. And did you see that blip retreating from the nebula? That was the Anacoons and Dodgers we saved. So the story can properly transcend into Metroid Fusion. And then we have the staff credits. Same as with most of the other games, Samus's animation at the end can differ depending on how quickly you beat the game. Since it was under 3 hours, we get the unarmored ending. So, yeah. If it's between 3 and 8 hours, she'll just remove the face part of the mask and thumbs up. And if it's over 8 hours, she'll thumbs up without removing the helmet at all. And with that ends the Super Metroid playthrough. Like I said, I might do some other games like this up ahead, so stay tuned for those and more. And until my next upload, I am Crolister. Thanks for watching, and I'm gonna whatever my younger brother for whining like this. Anyways, see ya.